Well, strategy, huh? Oh wow. This is too much for me. Okay. Ain't the match about to be? I,
The pay-per-view gonna end with that ring
I
going
mean,
out
I'm
with
just trying to
Moxley and
understand like what is going on. Why do they still? Hey, Joey. Hey, Marlon. I, wow. Enrique's here. Okay. AEW Revolution is over. Well, it's on its last couple of seconds. Literally 40 seconds. And then the ring is gonna explode. And Moxley is still in the ring and he can't get out. They're gonna leave him there with his hands handcuffed behind his back. Eddie Kingston's out there.
he
He
trying to
gonna
get him
try and
out of
get him
there.
out. You can't get him out. What are you doing? Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? I wish I are you serious right now? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Wow. Yeah, well, he didn't.
I
So
seen better explosions from
hope you feel
days.
better because he didn't catch fire. Sorry. Kane had bigger pyro.
What bombs? Okay, I'm gonna play my 2K.
There was no bombs.
Bombs.
There
So
was
we really keep those bombs all the way up here. The damn pyro I felt from Batista coming out while I went to Monday Night Raw was more loud than that
yeah,
shit.
that was like some pretty much like I don't even know if Moxley can breathe right now. Yeah, I don't know right off what you mean. I watched Sheeta's match with Rio. It was a good match. Uh, I'm not trying to make fun of it because it was a brutal match. The barbed wire on the outside wasn't real, so them falling into that wasn't a big thing. But this match was brutal, and it was no, it was not like the Inferno match at all. The Inferno match was I mean, I guess you can compare them, but not necessarily. There was actual fire around the ring with the Inferno match. In this case, the barbed wire was real. There were like shock like explosives around the ring, so that was real. It's kind of flashbangy, if that makes sense. It was more on a flashbang than rather it being like a big ass, you know, you know what I'm saying? It was okay. It was not Big Swole or Britt Baker maybe taking the title off Sheeta, maybe a triple threat. I doubt if it's a triple threat. I think that Big Swole is gonna get her opportunity, of course, because she's owed it. And Britt Baker and Nyla Rose came out there, so You got a lot of people trying to go after that title, as they should be. But Nyla need to go sit down because I don't want to see Nyla Rose compete for that title again. That's just not something I right off want to see. Okay, what off? So it's gone.
Yes.
All right, so AEW Revolution is over. I okay, so I didn't get to see the beginning of the show. I came in on Shida and Rio's match, which I actually liked. I had no issues with that match at all. I actually liked that match. It was fun to watch. You need to go. I'm not mad. I can pay that as long as it's only a big four. I'm not paying. I didn't pay for this. So I generally don't watch AEW's pay-per-views, not because I don't want to, but because I only pay $10 a month for WWE's and I'm just cheap. So I'm not gonna pay for it. Someone bought it for me, so I was able to do that. Awesome. Someone need to take the title off of her. Please talk about Sheeta. Obviously Kenny can't beat Moxley by himself. That title need to be bigger. Okay. Whatever that means. Jericho and MJF had a banger with the Young Bucks. I didn't get to see that match either. I'm kind of glad that I didn't get to see that. Can I get to telling the AEW stuff, or are you just gonna, tell it all in the comments? Because if that's the case, then I could just let you do it and be done with it. I haven't even had a chance to get to anything that happened on the show at all. Miro is a monster. Miro's match with Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy and Kip Sabian was wonky for me. I don't write off. It was a wonky match, and for me, it was the worst match on the card. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I didn't think it was a good match, and it could have been better, and it just could have been better. It's so high. I wasn't gonna pay that, especially if it's not WWE. It was a good pay-per-view. It wasn't a terrible pay-per-view. It was a good pay-per-view. I mean, the women's title is too small. Oh, okay, we have to specify. You just said the title is too small, so I'm like, okay, well, I know what you're talking about. It's the title is small like that because it's supposed to be a nod to the classic women's titles, the ones that Fabulous Moolah and all the older OGs of wrestling, women's wrestling wore. But I hate it because it doesn't look good on everybody, and they should make a title that looks good on everybody. I don't mind them making AEW women's tag team titles. Okay, I don't right off remember them saying they were going to do that, but all right. See what I'm saying? I can't even get to the match. I didn't get to see MJF's match and his match with the Young Bucks. I did get to see Miro's match with Chuck Taylor, I think that's his name, and Kip Sabian and Orange Cassidy. I didn't really like that match too much. I thought that match was garbage compared to the entire card. I got to see Shida and Rio's match. That to me was one of the best matches of the night. It was really, really, really good, very back and forth. I love that match. What else happened on AEW Revolution? Oh yeah, okay. So then I got to see the ladder match, which Scorpio Sky ended up winning. That match was okay. It's all right. Wasn't terrible. It was okay. There was some spots in there where it was a little wonky, but it was a good match. I'm glad Scorpio won. He gets to challenge Darby Allin this Wednesday on AEW Dynamite for the TNT title. The only thing I hated was that they had this massive ass brass looking prop ring in the middle. In the middle of the ring, and so I was like, okay, whatever. I would have preferred if it was just a briefcase or whatever the case may be. I know a lot of people probably would have compared it to WWE, but it'd be unnecessary. You see many people looking for grabbing a briefcase when it comes in various companies when it comes to getting a contract or whatever. So Scorpio got his opportunity to go after that TNT title, which you know, that's cool. Um, then you had the Darby Allin match with Sting, Ricky Starks, and Brian Cage, and of course the rest of Team Taz. Um, this match actually wasn't bad. I just wish there wasn't commentary. Commentary kind of took me out a little bit, and with Taz being on commentary, that made it even worse. I feel like he should have just went to the match, and they should have just because they pre-recorded it, so whatever. They should have just been there when they recorded it, and then we don't need to hear what the commentary has to say during this match because there shouldn't be commentary on this style of match. If it's cinematic, I don't need to hear commentary on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to watch it and enjoy it for what it is. And honestly, it was a decent match. Even with Sting and all of them in there together, it still was a decent match. The final match of the night, of course, was the recent match we just saw. If you didn't see it, it was Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega in an exploding barbed wire match. Let me put some of y'all comments in here. Okay. I'll bring up Christian in a second. So Miro saying he's gonna quit. Well, I don't care. I don't really care for Miro right now. Miro is a quitter. They had Sonic rings. Ricky Starks gives me sus vibes. Sus, like, Ricky Starks is gold. Like, there's nothing wrong with Ricky Starks. It was a play on Vince McMahon and his brass ring. I'm aware of that. It still was stupid. It was stupid. You can call it what you want, but it was stupid. It was just stupid. Um so this match freaked me out. I am not exactly into death matches in that regard, and I freak out very easily when I see blood and when I see things that explode or something that has like a flashbang like tendency. It scares the living shit out of me. So I don't write off care for these kinds of matches. For the most part, this match wasn't bad though. It was actually pretty good. What threw me off was Kenny Omega having Don Callis and um the Good Brothers out there. I don't understand the need for the Good Brothers. You were already in a barbed wire exploding match. I just felt like you could have just won that shit on your own, bro. Like, you didn't need them. And then it also lends to the whole impact usage thing with Don Callis. And I'm indifferent when it comes to that partnership deal. I don't like it. So anytime they get involved in things that Kenny is doing, it just makes you not want to watch the match or at least be involved in it. Now, towards the end, they had a big to do with the countdown and everything of the match. You know, when the match is the ring's supposed to explode when the match is over. And they had a 30-minute match. They left the last 30 minutes of the show, and the ring didn't explode. It was kind of like, have you ever seen Tom and Jerry when Tom lights the rocket and Jerry will walk towards it and it doesn't do anything, but when he gets to it, it kind of just explodes, but the explosion is like a fizzle. That was the same as having a bunch of sparklers outside with maybe a couple of firecrackers that are less than an M80, around the ring. Like, it really wasn't much to it. Like, the ring didn't collapse. Nothing happened that would lend to the fact that somebody got injured. Like, Eddie Kingston came out there to protect Moxley because Moxley was defenseless in the ring. He had handcuffs on his wrist, and that was it. He was out. Eddie Kingston laid on top of him, and then the ring explodes, so they say. And that was pretty much it. It was just like it was a big build up to this explosion, and it was just like pew, like that. Was kind of how it came across. It was just like a fizzle, and I was just like, oh, okay. Uh, alrighty then. Like I guess that's all we get, you know. I hate to say it this way, but it was a shitty ending. It was unnecessary. I just didn't understand it. I was like, okay. We get this. Alrighty, live your best life, fam. It was just a little it fizzled out is the best way to explain it. It wasn't like I didn't expect an actual explosion, but I expected something comparable to it. Like I expected to see something, and I didn't get that. So I was a little taken aback by it, not gonna lie. It was interesting to say the least. So hold on a second. Hold on, y'all. So did you guys watch the show? Did you like it? What did you guys think about it? Let me see some of y'all comments. It's only a little bit of y'all in here. That was nice of Eddie. Damn, Darby title reign might be in jeopardy because if he injured, he has to give up the title. Well, Darby is prone to injury, and him jumping out of a fucking window onto nothing would lend to the fact that he could possibly be injured. So, I mean, lives the breaks, I guess, for doing these kinds of stunts. Shit happens. I don't know no other way to explain it other than shit happens. All right, so J Sav says he gives it a 7 out of 10. I'd go 5 out of 10 for me personally. Now, a lot of people were speculating as to who was the mystery man who was coming. Doesn't sound too pleasing. I actually enjoyed most of it, but it was overhyped for me. The mystery man who came to AEW is, of course, Christian Cage, Mr. Captain Charisma, as I used to know him. Impact's very own Christian, WWE's very own Christian. So that was the big reveal. It was the big Hall of Fame worthy, Hall of Fame, future Hall of Famer Christian is coming to AEW. He is now all elite. And basically what you got with him was you got a man coming out to his music. He signed his contract at the podium, and then he left the he left the contract in the middle of the ring, and then he left. And that was it. That was the big reveal. It was very stunt queenish. I was like, okay. Shida better lose the title before I snatch it off myself. Okay. Some matches wasn't my cup of tea. My come over tea. I guess you make cup of tea. Who else was AEW going to get from WWE? Quite frankly, I wasn't really concerned about it. A lot of people were. They were very interested in it. They speculated. A lot of names were being thrown out. Kurt Angle capitalized on it, was teasing videos of wrestling, and really he was promoting his podcast. A lot of names was thrown out. Christians was one of them, as was CM Punk, as always. But CM Punk had made it very clear that he was not wrestling, and he never intended to. Yeah. But he is the guy. So what do you guys think about Christian being the one to go to AEW? I mean, For me personally, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this was a letdown of a reveal, not because of Christian being there, but the way that they did it. All that hype, all that mystery for him to just come out, sign his contract, and leave, and nobody else was out there. Nobody. It was just him. It was an interesting thing to see. Why I feel like Christian and Show are most for Vince. I don't know about that. I think Christian felt like he had some more wrestling prowess in him, and I don't think WWE was going to use him anytime soon because they've since switched off to basically start building their new stars, which I don't blame them. They need to be focused on longevity. They need to be focused on preserving the business as best they can. And with the coronavirus hitting the way that it did, it made you wise up and start making sure that you're protected. And that includes businesses. They have a lot of work to do. And if WWE was smart, they wouldn't focus on older talent. So him going to AEW doesn't surprise me. He wants to wrestle. He very well could have went to back to Impact and wrestled for a little while, but it's a smaller venue. Him being there, it'd be a big fish in a small pond. But that's a land he's moved in for quite some time. So, I mean, him going to AEW isn't such a terrible thing for me. I'm not right off like, oh, here we go. It is another WWE guy moving over to AEW, but at the same time, I just don't care enough about it to be up in arms about it because they're gaining a true veteran in the game, and hopefully he'll help them anchor their shows because they need help. I'm not happy. I'm tired of Tony getting all these motherfucking WWE stars. Like, you need views that damn bad. I don't think it's about views. Um, it's I don't know, good for Christian, but I just watched the video and it just didn't look as big as it should have been for a future Hall of Famer. That's what I just said. I'm telling you. It wasn't big at all. It was just a little tiny a little tiny conversation. He pretty much just came out there and was like, bam, he was just like, here I is. That was pretty much it, man. Like, there wasn't really much to it. It was like, that's all you get. I was like, oh, okay. So some of y'all don't really believe me about the explosion for Kenny Omega and Moxley's match. Now, Eddie Kingston came out there to protect Moxley from the explosion, and this was the explosion. This was it. This is literally the pyrotechnics from like somebody's entrance. Like, this was pyrotechnics from Kenny Omega's entrance. That was pretty much it. That that's what happened. Was this. That's all that happened. A retirement home for older WWE talent. Just kidding, but really good for Christian. He's going to wrestle and be able to have his last run. Well, he had a last run in Impact, and then he came back to WWE and pretty much was put into analyst positions. And of course, I'm sure WWE offered him a backstage position, which they very well could have used him backstage. But of course, I guess he turned him down and decided to go to AEW because he could wrestle and still work backstage at the same time. I think he kind of wanted a position like MVP, but MVP had a goal in mind when it came to Lashley and the Hurt Business, and I think he's exceeded that goal. So I don't right off see how they could use Christian in a similar way, but I do understand his, I still got juice in me. I could still go. But at the same time, it's like, do you need to? Do you understand what I'm saying? So that was pretty much AEW Revolution. It really wasn't a lot going on in AEW Revolution. Not exactly for me. Not for me to be emotionally attached. I was happy for Scorpio Sky. He earned an opportunity to compete against Darby Allin this Wednesday. I was happy for Darby and Sting. They both won the street fight tonight. Sheeta retained her title, although she was beat up by Nyla Rose and Britt Baker and co. This also has turned into a 6-woman tag match on AEW Dynamite this Wednesday. There was a new girl from Japan who debuted. I don't know her name right off, so I don't want to say it because I don't really know it. But she debuted, and a lot of people are talking about her. Her name is Maki. Okay. They had a match. They were competing earlier. The person she was supposed to compete with, well, Britt Baker was supposed to compete with a partner. Her partner was injured, so she said, and she ended up having a match with Maki, and Maki and Britt Baker won that match on the buy-in. So they also had a tag team Royale, which I don't know who won the tag team Royale because I didn't watch that. After that, there was Miro's match with Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy and Kip Sabian. Miro won the match. It was a sloppy ass match. I'm not gonna lie. That was I hate that match. There was a match with, like I said, the ladder match happened, the street fight happened, and then Moxley and Omega, which Omega ended up retaining the title due to the Good Brothers. So that was pretty much it. There was some other matches, which I'm sure Jay is going to put in here. I don't know who they competed against. Doesn't really matter to me. Oh, MJF and Jericho did lose to the Young Bucks today for the tag team titles. They did lose. And Hangman Adam Page had a match with Matt Hardy, and Hangman Adam Page beat Matt Hardy. So now he gets 100% of Matt Hardy's first quarter merchandise sales because he tried to stiff Hangman Adam Page on 30% of his earnings in AEW, which I was like, that is some killer shit. Hangman Adam Page totally messed over Matt Hardy, and he getting paid for his trouble. So I fucks with that heavy. So good for him. It was called the Big Money Match, and Hangman Adam Page won it. They won the tag team battle royal. Okay, well, good for them. So that's all I got for AEW Revolution. I got no more. There really isn't much to talk about when it comes to AEW Revolution. That was it. That was all. That was all we got, hunty. So, whatever else y'all want to talk about, put it in comments. Oh, shit. Shotzi knows she ain't shit. Whatever else y'all want to talk about, we'll put it in the comments, and then I'll be out. I'll be out of your hair. The women's tag match on the pre-show was just awful. They were laughing the whole time. They were chopping each other. It was just bad in my opinion. Oh, I didn't watch it, so I has no idea. I thought it was pretty good. A lot of people said it was pretty decent, so I don't know. So if you guys don't have anything else, I'm gonna bounce because that's all I got, and I don't have no more. So I hope you guys, if you didn't watch AEW Revolution, I think you did miss something that was decent. It was a pretty decent pay-per-view. It wasn't great, but it was decent. If I had to rate it out of 10, I would give it a 6.5 out of 10. I'll go to 6.5. Um, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. I wasn't really invested in AEW Revolution, so sorry if I'm not, as enthused by the show. But next time I promise I'll try to follow the storylines better to give you guys a better interest in the show, I was able to watch it today. So I decided that I would give you guys my thoughts on it. It wasn't a bad pay-per-view. I won't say that it was terrible. Some matches weren't great, others were a little wonky, but for the most part, the point was to be entertained, and I was entertained, so I can say that. But I won't say that it was a great pay-per-view. I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. There's room for improvement. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little review of AEW Revolution. If not, it's cool. Make sure you guys rate, comment, and subscribe. Share this video. Share my other videos. Show me some love because I love you guys. So I'll talk to you guys in my next one. I got to go. Bye.